Hi everyone, welcome to video 4 in Fun with Flowers from Summer Nights by Hanna Karlzon using Polychromos Pencils. We've got quite a little cute flower here to do today. I haven't even planned what colour it's going to be, although as I'm zooming in I'm thinking, well, I've done a purpley pink one, I've done a yellow one, I've done a salmony pink one, so maybe, oh, it's time to hit the desk with the chair. Maybe it's time for an orange flower. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to grab some oranges and put them nearer to me so I can reach them. Oh. Right. Where should we start? Let's do this one slightly differently. Sorry, I've still got a horse in my throat. I had that yesterday. In yesterday's video, I'm recording straight after. I did go and get some nasal spray. I can breathe better now, but the horse is back. So we'll have to hope he gallops off soon. So although I've said orange, this light cadmium red is a very orangey red. And I'm going to start with this. I want a really dark base to my petal. So I'm going to ignore this centre bit for now. I have got no idea what I'm going to do with that, but I'm not going to worry about that now. So put down a layer and then gently reduce the amount that you've got down. Now I say that and it makes it sound easy, and I know it's not. What I do is when I'm here, you see I'm layering over, I'm colouring over and over, and as I come out I'm colouring over less. And I'm colouring less, and here less layers, until I'm just doing the sort of lightest touch as I come out to there. And there are different methods to layering. This is just the one that I find easiest. What some people might do is put down an even layer and then just layer over some of it. But it just takes practice and patience. Patience is not something I'm blessed with. The impatient person. But anyway. But I think that's why I go so fast. It's quite a blessing in some ways, but not in others. I think it's like all of us, you know, we have different personality traits, and some of them, they are good, can be good and bad. You know, it's fantastic being a kind person, many people are, but sometimes you can end up being a bit of a people pleaser, or, you know, being kind at the detriment of your own mental health, that sort of thing. So, you know, there are pros and cons to all of it. Some habits and traits are better than others. This is dark cadmium orange, so we're starting now. I'm going to go over the top of what we've done already. I noticed this one's much darker than me, so I'm just going to grab my light cadmium red and go back over. Sorry, I went all blurred then. I looked in the camera and realised that these were a bit pale. I think that's better. Right, now we're going to do the dark cadmium orange. Now my circle is very wibbly. You won't notice by the end, but I hope not. So we're going to go over all that we've done using a very similar method to before. Well, exactly the same actually. So just doing less as we come out along our petal. Going to go backwards around this time in an anti-clockwise direction. There is no right and wrong way to do it. I'm just mixing it up. I never go anti-clockwise normally. Apparently it's very good for your brain to do things a little bit differently. I don't know if that's true or not. Like apparently like writing or drawing or doing things with your left hand if you're right-handed, and vice versa, apparently is good to test, to give your brain a workout. I'm certainly not going to be colouring with my left hand today. Actually, I think Emily Illustrator did a video where she did that, and I was astounded by her results. They were amazing. Certainly not, I reckon she'd been practising. If I did it, it would be awful. So I guess some people are more right/left-handed than others. You know, my sister is very right-handed in that she finds it difficult to use her knife and fork the correct way round because she can't eat. She doesn't like her fork in her left hand or something, I'm not sure. Right, I'm just sharpening my orange glaze. It's as blunt as a blunt thing on blunt day. Right, here we go. That's a good old-fashioned phrase. Probably, where should I start? I'm going to start here. Might not be a phrase that anyone's heard of. As something as a something on something day. I don't know where it comes from. Hopefully you can see that we're getting a sort of graduation of colour from orange to darker reddish orange to lighter orange. That's the plan. This is the same method I use when colouring fire, for example. I've actually just finished a picture where I coloured some fire, and it does this not a realistic look of fire, but it just goes from red to yellow, and I think it looks okay. You can see it's supposed to be fire, it just doesn't look realistic, but colouring realistic fire, ooh, difficult. So yeah, I just I'd finished a page in Tales from the Forest Kingdom, another Hanna Karlzon book, and there's some people and critters sitting around a fire, and I took a photo of it this morning to put up on my socials. I try and put a photo up every day of a picture that I've completed, and I put it up on both my Instagram and my Facebook pages, so you can have a look. Same picture on both. Just, I don't know if people follow me on both, but just in case you don't, you know. And it's also be on my completed pages. I don't know if I may have already been in my completed pages, to be honest. This is the cadmium orange. Excuse me. I really have got a frog in my throat today. I'm feeling really quite sort of bunged up actually, but it's not. I've had a headache for about a week, and that's easing, but it seems to have moved down into my sort of cheekbones, sinuses, and I was getting earache. It's lovely, but it's not so sore today, so I'm glad about that. Even though it sounds a bit horrible, I feel a lot better. It's very weird, but anyway, I am prone to sinusitis. I think the year before last I got some antibiotics. I could potentially try and get a repeat prescription, but I think I'll probably be okay. I feel like I'm past the worst of it now anyway, so it seems a bit pointless. Wow, it's quite bright, isn't it? Okay, I haven't used I've got a chrome yellow out, so I haven't used that, put that away. Now, what we can do with this middle, I want it to stand out. Plants often like their middles to stand out because they're trying to attract the insects in. We've done a couple of yellowy brown ones already, so we don't want to do that. Don't want to do that anyway. Could go for greyish black or yellow. I think I'm going to go for yellow, but first I'm just going to use my eraser and try and get rid of that bit of orange where I've gone over the lines. There. So, yellow. What shade? Should we go light or dark? I'm thinking both. I've just grabbed one and we'll just start with that. So I've decided. This is the cadmium yellow. This is sort of mid but bright yellow. Nice warm. I know it sounds silly saying warm yellow, but a yellowy yellow is warm, but then you can get a greeny yellow, which I feel like a lemony one is a bit colder. And I'm just going to colour it all like this first. not too hard. And then you get your sort of browny yellows, which are different again. Now, what are we going to do to define this a little bit? Oh, yeah, let's try this, something a bit different. I'm grabbing my terracotta. I'm going to put a bit of terracotta in it. I'm hoping it's going to work. So here he is. I feel like trying to do different shades of yellow isn't going to stand out enough. What I want to do is put in a little bit of shadow just around the centre. These, I'm not worrying about these long sticky bits at the minute. That's their official name. I'm going to put a bit of shadow in there. So I'm just going to put a bit of terracotta in here. And maybe just around that edge. It's given it a little bit of depth, hasn't it? What I'm now going to do is get the Van Dyck brown, which I'm just sharpening. I'm going to try something a bit different. I don't know if it's going to work. I say that a lot, don't I? So on the very centre one, I'm going to just put a little bit there to give it a bit of depth. And then I'm going to do that on each of these, just so this little mark is just going just a little bit away from the edge, but not too near the centre. Hang on, where's my brush? Here he is. And I'm going to do the same on these, just put it a little bit in the, on the very deep bit nearest the centre. A little bit on the edge of each of these long bits. There we go. Now I want some shadow around our centre bits. And I think I'm going to use the walnut brown rather than dark sepia. I want it to be quite brown. Now I'm going to go all the way around first. Needs sharpening. So all the way around this bit. So just basically around where that black line is already. And just to add a bit of depth to it. And then where these are, they're going to be casting a bit of a shadow on the flower petal itself. So I'm thinking it's most likely to be underneath, not above. Cool, a wind is making a noise outside. I think we're forecast quite nasty winds on Thursday actually. But I've got to go out because I've got to pick up a prescription. So, all the way around here, where the petals overlap, there'd be a little bit of shadow on the next one. So they don't. Oh, sorry, itchy nose. They wouldn't necessarily touch each other, and I also feel that there'd be a bit more thicker shadow here, just at the top. Just going to expand that the tiniest bit, just to fade it off a bit. There we go. Okay, I think that I think I'm just going to finish it off with one last layer on my petals, just to brighten it up. I mean, I know it's bright, but I'm going to use the dark chrome yellow, which I had got out, and I'm going to just put a layer right over the top. And I think it just makes it warmer and prettier. But you don't have to do this final layer, but I think it's just helps to blend it all together, fill in any white gaps and warm it all up really. And I'm trying not to blend in the shadow. And we are nearly done. This one is quite a small flower. Hasn't taken quite so much time. Let's just brush the page. We've got quite a few bits. There we go. There he is, all finished. It was never meant to be a really long page to do anyway, so I knew there are a few that will be shorter, but I'm rather pleased with the flower centre. The way it looks quite three-dimensional, which is quite fun. Maybe the petals haven't come off quite so well with regards to 3D looking, but you know, it is what it is. So there's that one. Not sure what we're going to be, which one we're doing tomorrow. We've got a really big one in the middle, or we've got a slightly smaller one. I shall have a think. But for today, that is it. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.